You wake up every single morning, you commute through the same traffic, you log your hours, you hit your targets, and you receive your paycheck. Yet, despite your hard work, your lifestyle feels like it is shrinking. It is a strange, persistent anxiety that follows you into the grocery store, where the price of eggs seems to climb weekly, and into your bank account, where the balance at the end of the month remains stubbornly stagnant. You look at your boss, you look at your company, and you wonder why your efforts are not translating into the prosperity you were promised. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Your salary is not the problem, and your boss is likely just as trapped in the system as you are. We are living through a silent, invisible erosion of reality, a phenomenon that has been engineered into the very fabric of our global economy. To understand why your money buys less every year, we have to look past the surface of your monthly paycheck and peer into the engine room of the modern financial world. This is not just about inflation. It is about the fundamental mechanics of how money is created, how value is diluted, and why the game is rigged in ways that most people never stop to analyze. Imagine for a moment that you are playing a game of Monopoly. Everyone starts with the same amount of cash, and the rules are clear. But halfway through the game, someone starts printing extra money and slipping it into the hands of a few specific players, while the rest of you are told to keep playing by the original rules. You would notice immediately. You would call it cheating. Yet, in the real world, this happens on a massive scale, and we are told that it is for the stability of the economy. When you hear the term inflation, you are usually taught that it is a natural byproduct of a growing economy, a slight rise in prices that keeps the wheels turning. That is a convenient lie. Inflation is not a natural occurrence. It is a monetary policy. Every time a central bank decides to expand the money supply, the value of every single dollar, euro, or pound already in circulation begins to evaporate. It is a hidden tax, one that is never debated in Parliament and never appears on your tax return. But it is the most regressive tax of all because it hits those with fixed incomes and wages the hardest. Think about the purchasing power of your grandfather's salary. In the mid-20th century, a single income could sustain a family, buy a home, and provide a comfortable retirement. Today, two incomes are often barely enough to cover the basics. This is not because your grandfather was more productive than you. It is because the monetary unit he was paid in held its value. You are being paid in a currency that is designed to lose value over time, a currency that acts like an ice cube melting in your hand. The faster you run to save it, the less you have left by the time you reach the finish line. This mechanism creates a perverse incentive structure. If your money loses value every year, you are effectively being punished for saving it. You are coerced into taking risks, into gambling on volatile markets, or into taking on debt just to maintain a standard of living that should have been yours by default. You are forced to become a speculator just to avoid becoming poor. This is the great trap of our time. We are told to work harder, to climb the corporate ladder, to earn that promotion, but we are running on a treadmill that is accelerating faster than our legs can move. Even when you get that raise, you are likely just catching up to the cost of living that has already surged ahead of you. It is a cycle of perpetual frustration, designed to keep you tethered to your desk, focused on survival rather than freedom. The disconnect between productivity and wages is one of the most damning statistics of the last 50 years. Since the early 1970s, technology and automation have made us exponentially more productive. We can do in an hour what took our predecessors a full day. By all rights, we should be working fewer hours and living in greater abundance. Instead, we are working just as long, if not longer, and our real wages have remained stagnant. Where did all that extra value go? It flowed upward. It flowed into the hands of those who own the assets, those who capture the gains of expansion, and those who have access to the new money before it hits the broader economy. This is the Cantillon Effect, a principle discovered centuries ago, which states that those closest to the source of new money benefit the most, while those at the end of the chain, the wage earners, pay the price through higher costs. You are at the end of that chain. You are the one paying the premium for the assets that others bought with cheap, newly minted money. This is why housing prices have decoupled from reality. It is not that houses have become better or more luxurious. It is that the currency used to price them has been debased. You are competing against an infinite supply of credit that is being funneled into the real estate market. Your salary, earned through honest labor, is a fixed unit of value trying to keep pace with an expanding sea of digital credit. It is a losing battle. But understanding this is the first step toward reclaiming your agency. Once you realize that the system is not broken, but rather functioning exactly as intended, you can stop looking at your boss as the villain and start looking at the structure of your financial life as the target. The goal is to move from being a recipient of depreciating currency to an owner of appreciating assets. You must shift your mindset from being a consumer to being a producer and an owner. The financial education you were never given in school is the most valuable asset you can acquire today. You need to understand how debt works, not just as a consumer tool, but as a lever. You need to understand how the movement of capital impacts your life, even if you never touch the stock market. You need to insulate yourself from the erosion of the currency by holding things that cannot be printed, diluted, or confiscated by a central authority. This is not about getting rich quick. It is about protecting the value of your labor. If you work hard for your money, you deserve for that money to hold its value. You deserve a system where your savings represent a store of energy, not a liability. We have allowed ourselves to be lulled into a false sense of security, believing that the paper in our wallets is real wealth. It is not. It is an IOU from a system that is constantly renegotiating the terms of that debt to your disadvantage. The question is not why your salary buys less. The question is why you continue to participate in a system that is designed to drain your potential. The moment you start thinking like an investor, a strategist, and a student of history, the power dynamics change. You stop being a cog in the machine and start becoming a navigator of the storm. The financial landscape is shifting, and the window of opportunity to pivot is closing. Those who adapt, those who learn to play the game by the new rules of the digital age, will find that they are no longer at the mercy of inflation or corporate stagnation. They will find that they can build a foundation that is truly their own. Look at your life today and ask yourself if you are building wealth or just managing poverty. Ask yourself if your current strategy is designed to keep you in the race or to help you cross the finish line. The answers are uncomfortable, but they are the key to your future. We are standing at a crossroads of history, where the old ways of saving and working are failing, and new, decentralized, and resilient systems are emerging. The transition will be difficult, and it will require a level of intellectual rigor that most people are unwilling to apply. But for those who do, the rewards will be immense. You have the power to change your trajectory, but it requires you to wake up to the reality of the money you use every single day. Do not let your labor be stolen by a system that relies on your ignorance to survive. Start by questioning everything you have been told about money, about debt, and about the nature of prosperity. Read, study, and observe the patterns of the market. The truth is hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who are brave enough to seek it out. Your financial future is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of design. You can be the architect of your own prosperity, or you can remain a casualty of the machine. The choice is yours, and the clock is ticking. If you found this analysis of the hidden forces impacting your paycheck eye-opening, and you want to continue uncovering the truths that the mainstream media refuses to discuss, I need you to do something important right now. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an installment in our series on financial sovereignty. And more importantly, I want to hear from you. What is the one expense in your life that has increased the most over the last year? Leave a comment below with your story. Let's create a record of what is actually happening on the ground, away from the manipulated statistics of the government. Share this video with someone who is working hard, but feeling like they are falling behind. They need to hear this message as much as you did. The more of us who understand the game, the harder it becomes for them to keep the rules hidden. Join the conversation, stay vigilant, and let's navigate this transition together. Your wealth, your time, and your future depend on the decisions you make today.